going to get started today. I'm out of breath. Lord help. I might have been jamming too hard, okay? Listen, Lord help us today, okay? But listen, obedience is so important. So it's so important. You won't move forward in life the way you desire to move forward if you're not obedient. And I'm going to tell you, when it comes to you and building a team, even before you have a team, you want to be the person that you desire on your team. So if you tell your team something that you know will change their life, but they don't do it, it's 9 times out of 10, you need to look at how you operate. Do you do the things that your upline is telling you to do, or do you pick and choose? Picking and choosing will not get you the results that you desire to get. It makes me think about my trainer, and I always go back to this. If my trainer tells me to do something and I half do it, I can't be mad at half results. When I have a divot instead of a whole ab, that's my fault, because I decided to just do half of the stuff that he told me to do, or when I don't have any results at all, because some results compound. I don't know if y'all know this, but when it comes to this, my whole self series, it's going to compound. Some of you guys will get to the end of the series and you're going to have exponential growth when it comes to your life. And I've heard several testimonies when it comes to really just self-evaluating and looking at the person that you desire to be versus the person that you have already become, that you have to almost like divorce. Come on, great segue. So this is what we're talking about today, guys. Yes. Today, the subject is now what? So like, of course, it's like, Rachel, you took us through all these little things about our life, and I'm feeling real like I'm a hot mess express. It's for real on paper. On paper, I'm a hot mess express. And so now it's like, now what? Now what? And so we are going to take out the trash. All right? Take out the trash. And I need everybody to utilize their discernment and their wisdom when we talk about taking out the trash, because there may be certain things in your life that you don't feel like is trash, but it is trash because it's not serving you where you are. It's not serving the person you desire to become. It's not serving the next 5 years of your life. And even though it may have served you in your first 5, does not mean that those same things can go with you to the next 5. Did y'all hear me? Just because something has served you over the past 5 years does not mean that it may not be time to release it. It may be time to release it so that you can go to where it is that you desire to go. I had a YouTube a while ago, and you can go back and watch it. It's called Take Out the Trash. It's called You're Too Heavy. It's called You're Too Heavy. And a lot of people don't realize that you're struggling to go to the next level in life in any area because you're too heavy. I think about when I got married, guys, and who's married? Drop a 1 in the comments if you're married. So I think about when I got married, and y'all, my friends were like this. I went to them when I was buying drawers. Like, is these cute? Like from Victoria's Secrets. Like, I talked to my friends about everything, like everything. I got their opinion about everything. And I realized as God was taking me to a married life, the disconnect had to happen. It had to happen. Number 1, they're not married. One of them is now. But number 1, they're not married. Number 2, you don't have people in your married business. Like, you should be sending to your husband, not before, but sending the drawers to my husband. These cute. You think you like these? Like, you know what I'm saying? Not to your friends. And a lot of times we go to so many other people. And so I had to divorce that. And that didn't mean I had to divorce my friends, but I had to divorce what our friendship looked like. And either we're going to evolve into a new picture of our friendship, or you can't go with me where I'm going because I'm getting married. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you can relate to that, drop me in the comments. Like, that was a big thing for me. Like, I had been single for a long time. This was my ace boom coons. Like, they helped me with everything. And if you can't evolve with me to my married life, which is sacred, which is he's first now, like your opinion doesn't matter. You will never forgive him the way that I will forgive him. And you don't need to know everything that's going on in my household at all. Like where you used to know everything about my relationship beforehand when I was dating. Like it just can't happen. It can't happen. And so that's what I want to talk to y'all about today. Some of y'all are going to, actually everybody, there is an aspect in every single person on this call. There's an aspect of your life that you're going to have to release and take it and put it in the trash, or what you saw it as in the trash, in order to go to where you really say you want to go. Because guys, at the end of the day, I would never have the marriage that I have now if I still dealt with my friends in our relationship the way that I did before. There's so much peace, so much joy, so much love in my home. And that would not have been there if there were third parties who got to give their 2 cents on my marriage. That's a word for somebody, maybe for your marriage, or maybe just for your life, maybe even for your business. There is a place where people cannot give their 2 cents. They shouldn't even know. It's none of their business at all. It's none of their business. And a lot of times you cannot allow people who are not where you are or where you want to be. Not a lot of times, that's just period. You cannot allow people who are not where you are or where you're going to even speak over your life. Now, that doesn't mean that, that's why I said wisdom and discernment, because God can use anybody. But at the end of the day, you have to stop looking to people who are not where you desire to be or grow to for advice. And I'm going to tell you that all that glitters isn't gold. All that glitters is not gold. Everybody has a story, but everybody isn't willing to share it. And when people aren't willing to share their story, that's kind of scary. That's scary. The people who have impacted my life the most are, I say open books, but I know they're not sharing everything. They are open books about how God has delivered them, because we're overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. So I want to tell you guys this. You can do anything, but you can't do everything. And I've heard this over and over and over again. How many of you guys have heard that before? Yes. Have you guys heard that before? You can do anything, but you can't do everything. Yes. So y'all, this translates to your entire life. This translates to your entire life. This translates to your entire life. So if you go back to last week and you go through the different areas that we talked about, like, listen, you can do anything, but you can't do everything. So you have to prioritize your life. And that's what we're going to do today. And hopefully you guys will engage and participate and walk away from here feeling more clear when it comes to what should be in the trash and what should actually be able to be a part of your life. So this is going to be the process of removal. Okay, the process of removal. I used to, Year of Yes, it was a great book by Shonda Rhimes, but I always made a joke, and I still make the joke to this day, that a lot of people need to embark on the year of no. For real. And some people need to stay in the year of no. The year of no. Because a lot of the things that you are saying yes to are not growing you to where you say you want to grow. So what are we going to remove? So I think the first thing is to make up your mind. Commitment, belief, all of that. It is so important, y'all. And welcome, everybody. I know we got some newbies on here. This is Newbie Circle. We are in the middle of a series called My Whole Self. And I'm your ambassador diamond leader. Just means I hit the top rank of the company. I get to serve all of you guys. So I'm so excited to have you here. You'll learn more about my story in the Money Squad page and in the Launchpad and all that jazz. So welcome, guys. But I'm going to tell you guys this, like, you have to make up your mind. You have to make up your mind. What do you have to make up your mind? That you're committed to this. There's a difference in levels of commitment. Y'all know what I'm talking about? There's a level of commitment where it's like, if it's convenient for my life, I'll do it. A lot of people come to this business like that. Let's just be honest. And maybe some of y'all old heads will be honest, because I know we got people of all different years. How many of y'all, how about that? Drop a 1 in the comments if you were only committed to your business if it was convenient. Oh, take a sip on that one, because I know a whole bunch of you. Yeah, thank you for being honest. Yes. All right. So here's the thing, that can't work. And how many of y'all, how about this? If you did that, so if you were somebody who said, if this business is convenient, then I will work it only if it's convenient, how many of y'all did make a lot of money? How about that? Drop a 2 in the comments if your check was not popping because of your lack of commitment. Yes, let the church say amen. Like, for real, your check was not popping because you weren't popping. You were not committed. How many of you guys were slightly committed to a job and you slightly found yourself outside the door? Like, you didn't make it there. How many of you guys were slightly committed to a degree and you didn't graduate? Okay. Yep. How many of y'all were slightly committed to a relationship and that relationship is trash? Like, you're probably still in it and it's still trash because you're slightly committed, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. These slight commitments get you slight results, and then you salty about slight results. Oh, that business don't work. Oh, he ain't no good. Oh, the school ain't for me. Like, now all of a sudden it's everybody else and it's not you, but you were never really committed. That might be an ouch or amen situation, like, for real, because that takes some real self-evaluation. I can hands down tell you the certain aspects of my life where I was slightly committed in the results that I got, opposed to where I was fully committed in the results that I got. Yes, you can distinguish it. Some of y'all, whoo, Lord, yes, okay. Some of us, I'm going to include myself so that y'all don't feel alone, because we all, okay. Some of us are slightly committed to our parenthood. And so when you get calls from the school or your kids are clowning, and then you mad at the teacher, or you want to beat your kid until they need to go to the hospital, but you slightly committed. Lord. So today it's an ownership thing, okay? It is an ownership thing. Yo, you are the captain of your ship. You are the master of your fate. Like, you are in control of every aspect of your life. You are. The only way that you can become whole is if you determine and decide that you're going to take responsibility. You have to decide to take responsibility. And y'all, I'm telling you, taking out the trash, you be like, that ain't trash though. That ain't trash. That's not trash. Rachel, this is not, what do we consider trash? Like, how about that? What is trash to you? How do you view trash? That's good. How do you view trash? Most people view trash, I'm actually going to look up the definition. Most people view trash as something that is bad. It's negative. It's something that's worn. It's something that is no longer of use, which that can be a good definition. Something that's rotten. I like that. Yep. I'm gonna actually pull up the actual definition. No longer used to me, not beneficial. See, these are good things. Like, this is a good way to look at trash. But by definition, it's discarded matter, or it is damaged. So some people see it as damaged, something that's damaged, worthless, useless, discarded, it's foolish, nonsense, things like that. But we're going to look at it here as something that is no longer of use for you. It's no longer useful to you, not in general, no longer useful to you. So the trash, we are taking out the trash. We are taking out things that are no longer useful to me. No longer useful to me. And this can be a hard place too, because here's the thing. Anybody ever cleaned out your closet before? So we need to define useful, right? Because you might be sitting here like, well, what you mean? Like, it's shoes. I can still use the shoes, okay? They can still go on my feet so that I can walk around outside and protect my feet, right? So now we have to define what useful is, right? What does it mean to be useful? Look at this definition, y'all. It says valuable or productive thing or whatever, to do something useful in your life? Valuable or productive to be useful in your life? And I don't know why they use useful again. Value or productive to be useful in your life. It says serviceable for an end or a purpose. Something that will serve an end or purpose in your life. That's good. So number one, we talked about this in week 1. Y'all said y'all were committed. So the question is, have you decided that you're ready to move on from where you are and committed to the process? I'm gonna ask again. Have you decided that you're not okay with where you are and you have decided that you're going to move to the next level and you're committed to the process? If you are, say yes in the comments. Like, hey, if not, it's really no point of me continuing. There's no point of me just giving knowledge just to give it. The question is, like, are we committed to getting rid of what is not useful in our lives so that we can really go to where it is that we desire to go? For example, have any of you guys ever experienced a time in life where you have gotten something just to get it because you couldn't afford what you really needed, when you really could have waited to truly get what it was that you needed to serve the purpose in your life? Drop a 1 in the comments if you have. And I know everybody has, okay? Everybody, all of us have done it. All of us. So this is not a judgment place. Like, we're not here to judge each other. We're literally here to grow. And the only way to grow is we have to be aware of what's going on in our life. We said that last week, God can't bless who you pretend to be. Like, you really have to evaluate where you are, which sometimes that sucks. Any of y'all ever taken a physical assessment? Lord, my God, if you've never done one before, like, it's like what they used to do back in school. You know what I'm saying? Like, we used to have a test with the little awards. And I was like, ain't no award at the gym, but you just be like, what is wrong with me? Like, I thought I was more in shape than this. Like, I could do an assessment today and I'll be like, girl, we used to do one at the boxing gym where we had to like run around and do all these push-ups, sit-ups, hit the bag. And I was like, I'm dying. Like, I'm dead. Like, I'm not in shape. Like, what is going on? I didn't even want to finish it. I was like, I'm just going to walk out. Like, let me excuse myself. Like, I'm just not, I can't. What in the world? Like, just help, Lord. Right? I get it. When you start to assess your life, it's like, I'm not here for this. I'm just okay with just being regular. I'm basic. She's basic. Okay, Lord. I'm okay. I don't need to be the 1%. Lord. But yes, you do. I'm telling y'all today, yes, you do. You can do this. You can do this. So now that we have commitment, that's number 1. That's actually the secret sauce. Did y'all know that? Commitment is the secret sauce. Commitment is the secret sauce. Write that down. Commitment is the secret sauce. It really is. Because at the end of the day, I think about myself, like, I have young kids. If you have young kids, drop a 2 in the comments. Lord. And young kids, you have to be very consistent as a parent. And I get it. You don't want to be consistent, and what does it mean to be consistent as a parent? Repeating yourself 50 million times, like 50 million times, correcting with love, not with pissed offity. I just made that up. Being pissed off. You be ready to knock them out because they ain't listened the 10th time and they only won, and be like, girl, what is wrong with you? Like, you be like, you understand what I'm saying? Oh, my 17-month-old, okay? He is learning a lot. And so yesterday he told his daddy, don't touch me. Don't touch me. 17 months. And I was like, see, listen, I had to remember he's not the 14-year-old. Like, I was like, bring it back. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is a process. And if you're not in the right mindset, you'll be in trouble, because it was like you just responding as a parent, and it's like, it's a lot. It's a lot. So what I'm telling you, it's the same thing for you, your life, your business, your growth. It's a lot. And so show yourself some grace, but you have to be committed to it. And being committed to parenthood means that, Zaire, you can't say that. Like, that's inappropriate. Like, and then, so being okay with that process and looking at the 3-year-old and the 14-year-old, like, I wish you would, because you're not going to get the same response that he's going to get. Y'all know what I'm saying? So you have to be committed. Be committed to the process. All right, number 2. Today, I'm going to teach you guys how to create a bubble of peace. Some of you guys have never done this before, okay? And so I'm excited. You're going to have to clear your heart and your mind in order to do this and for it to be effective. This is something that I learned through Hypnobabies, and it completely changed my life. Why do I feel like it's important to create a bubble of peace? Because you're going to need a bubble in order to grow into the place that you want to be. So let me give you a little background. In Hypnobabies, if you don't know what Hypnobabies is, it's a form of birth. So how like some people go through Lamaze or whatever, like it's a form of birth that you go through, and you actually like recondition your entire mind in order to have a pain-free, peaceful birth. And it is a real thing. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. I've had 2 of them. It's a pain-free, peaceful birth, right? Where your body actually does what it's supposed to do, because you teach it and remind it that it does know how to do things, but you have to block out everything. It takes a high level of commitment to have a Hypnobaby, a high level of commitment to have a Hypnobaby. I'm talking about from who you talk to the type of TV that you watch, the kind of circle that you have, the kind of doctor that you go to. It takes a high level of commitment, what you're feeding yourself every single day. So like there are things that you have to do every day in order to prepare for this birth that you desire to have. So I'm telling you guys, you're going to have to create the environment within the environment. Right? So you may not be able to physically change your situation or where you live or anything like that, but you're still going to have to create a physical environment in order to do this. So like, for example, for me, I had 2 kids when I was preparing for Zaire, but at the end of the day, I still had to get in my studies every single day. No matter how crazy my house was, I had to be committed to the things that I needed to do in order to have this peaceful birth. So what we do is we create a bubble of peace. And inside this bubble, we get to put whatever we want inside of it. So I get to put in the peaceful things, the things that I believe about birth, because I don't care if you believe that a peaceful birth can happen or not. I don't care if you believe that all birth is painful. I don't believe that. And so this bubble made me create what I believe and sustain what I believe and protect me from what other people believe, because I believed what was inside of this bubble. So if you can, I want you to close your eyes, okay? I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to think about a bubble. So you can think about it like being close to you. So, and then I want you to think about being inside the bubble, right? I know it's so weird. Being inside the bubble. So I want you to envision yourself inside of a bubble. Envision nothing else is inside of this bubble besides you. Envision yourself inside this bubble. So actually I see it. Is it clear? What color is your bubble? So right now it may be clear because you may just be thinking about like a bubble that somebody blows, right? So you have this bubble, and I want you to know that you are in full control of this bubble. So it can be as big as you want it to be. Like it can legit be big where, people they have to back 6 feet because this bubble is moving them out the way. Or it can be super close to your skin. It can be super close, but it's still protecting you. So I want you to think about how big your bubble is. And then for me, this is my favorite part. You can choose the color. So like, is it red? Is it see-through? Can you see through it? I hope you can see through it because you need to be able to walk and see. It might just have a little part with your eyes. I don't know. What's your bubble look like? But I want you to think about this bubble and what color it is. Is it see-through, transparent, or whatever, right? Mine is transparent. I just like to be able to see, okay, all around me. And then I want you to know that at any time, if you need to project it and make it bigger, you can. So if you need more space within your bubble, or if you need it close to you, you can do that. This is my favorite part. On the outside of your bubble, like you have to think about, what is your bubble made out of? My bubble is not made out of soap, okay? And nobody can pop my bubble. What is your bubble made out of? And your eyes should still be closed. Is your bubble made out of metal? I don't know. Is your bubble made out of concrete? What is your bubble made out of? For me personally, it is a metal bubble with spikes on the outside. Why do I have spikes on the outside? Because even before they can knock on my bubble's door, anything that I don't desire is automatically deflected. It's automatically deflected. So when I first created my bubble of peace, it is legit metal with spikes all around it. It's spikes all around it. So think about it. What does your bubble look like? What is your bubble made out of? What color is your bubble? And what is your reinforcements outside of your bubble? And here's the fun part. Your eyes can still be closed. Here's the fun part for me. I get to decide what's in my bubble, but the only way that you get in my bubble is if you have my beliefs. And call it what you want to call it. Some people may be that's the code, that's not making way for different opinions, whatever. I know my opinion. And right now I know I want a peaceful life. I know, so if you don't go in alignment with my peaceful life, if you don't go alignment with me succeeding in my business, succeeding in my parenthood, and that doesn't mean I'm blocking off correction, because I know that things need to be corrected and I need people who can speak life over me. But I know for sure, especially when it comes to my life, there are only certain people who are allowed inside of my bubble. So I want you to think, who are the people? It may be no one right now, okay? Maybe just your mentor, or it may not be your mentor. I don't know. But there are only certain people who can be inside of your bubble. So for example, my husband is allowed in my bubble, unless one day he's just tripping and he can't be in my bubble. But my husband is allowed inside of my bubble. Peace is allowed inside of my bubble. The beliefs that I've put when it comes to my household are inside of my bubble. Like my mentors, they are inside of my bubble. Meaning that I don't necessarily have this bubble up when I'm speaking to them. They can freely come in and communicate and speak into my life. Now, I want y'all to reinforce that bubble. Some of y'all struggling to keep your eyes closed. I want you to reinforce that bubble. Know exactly what that bubble is. Be able to recall that bubble at any moment. And then you can open up your eyes. So here's the fun thing. I've always been able, we are taught to say bubble of peace. I can think it now only because I've been doing hypnobabies for so long, but I can think it now. But sometimes you have to say it, like bubble of peace. And it's like bubble of peace before you go into something, and you visualize that bubble coming into you, coming around you. But I'm gonna tell you this, you can't reinforce something that's not there. You cannot reinforce something that is not there. Meaning, every day you have to think about this bubble of peace. Every day you wake up and put your bubble of peace on, and you're sure about what's inside of your bubble of peace and what you believe. Does that make sense? And some of y'all, it'll take some time. Like this was just a small exercise, but some of your bubble of pieces will continue it'll continue to evolve. Like, I don't know, you may be single and say, I don't have sex before marriage. That's inside my bubble of peace. And so when people start to talk about certain stuff, you automatically stop listening to stuff that is not conducive to where you want to go. You don't have to listen. And let me tell y'all something. That's not respectful to just hear people out when it's not conducive to your bubble of peace. For example, in birth, I don't even want to hear about your birth story at all. If I have to put on my bubble of peace to listen to your birth story, I don't want to hear it. So some conversations need to go. Some people who want to tell you about how their business failed, why are you listening to that? Why? Hey, that I would rather not have this conversation, but I do appreciate your heart in wanting to forewarn me or whatever you call it, but that's not my story. Listen, and I'm telling y'all, this is so important. Like, you would think let me tell you, those of y'all, okay, some of y'all some old heads, so some of y'all know. Drop a 1 in the comments. I think it's enough of y'all on here. If you know how serious I was when it came to my birth, like how serious I was. I didn't care. I didn't want to talk to my mama. My mom, and here's the thing, we didn't allow anybody to even be there. Well, God didn't allow nobody to be there, okay? The way my kids came. It's so peaceful and quick that could nobody make it if they wanted to, okay? But it made them respect birth on a higher level because of my commitment to it. And I showed them things in life that they never even believed was possible themselves because of my high level of commitment. And so what I'm telling y'all, if you can translate this to your life, it will change your life. It will change everything you know about life. Everything you know about life. And it wasn't like offensive or anything. It's just the standards that I put on my own life. So it's okay to raise your standards. How about that? I give myself permission to raise my standards. You deliver pizzas, not babies. My baby's not going to be delivered. Okay. And educating. If you want to talk to me about this, I'm going to educate you about what I know and what I believe. So I don't know if it's a conversation that you even want to have. Okay. I give myself permission to raise my standards. Like, for real, drop that in the comments. I give myself permission to raise my standards. Stop looking at other people and being like, oh, that would be nice. Instead of saying, you know what, I'm going to raise my standards so I can have that would be nice in my own life. It is going to be nice because I'm going to raise my standards so I can live that kind of life. I'm going to raise my level of commitment so I can live that kind of life. Do y'all know that most of the lives that you admire come with a high price? Do y'all know that? They come with a high price. I remember when I first got connected to Cammie Pentecost, which is Black Diamond. And make sure y'all head over to her page and tell her happy anniversary, because there would be no Money Squad without her. So shout out to her. Yes, today I think it's her 16th anniversary with It Works. So make sure y'all run over and tell her happy anniversary. But like, when I first started to really be connected to her on a personal level, I started to see her level of commitment to life. And I was like, yo, like, this is crazy. The things we say yes to, they have no second thought to say no to. They are so committed to giving themselves permission to be great. Did y'all know you have to give yourself permission to be great? You have to give yourself permission to be great. All right, so we're going to talk about this. Today, we're going to prioritize. And we're going to make this practical. We're going to make it practical, okay? Prioritizing, because this is what it all boils down to. This changed my life, okay? Changed my life. It's called order of hierarchy. And we're going to be honest. Yep, I heard that. God said, let's be honest first, because God won't bless who you pretend to be, okay? Oh, how many people on here are willing to be honest and say, maybe your order of hierarchy is off? Say me. Yeah, that was hard for me in the beginning. It was like, what you mean? Like, I'm out here just doing my best. Like, I'm showing up. I'm giving my all. Like, I'm giving my all. Like, at one point in my life, all my all went to my business. Like, my family was like, we can eat McDonald's every day of the week. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got a condo on my wrist. Like, I'm cashing out. We can afford this. And it was like, your priorities are jacked. They are, but I'm doing this for my family. I'm doing this for my family. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I'm gonna tell y'all this, and if you don't like it, go find it in the Bible and then come back and tell me, and then we can talk about it. All right, it's God first, okay? God first, God first, and you're gonna have to ask God to show you what that looks like in your life. If you are married, oh, I don't care if you don't like them, okay? You married them. It's your spouse second. It's not your kids. At one point in life, that was for me. That was for me. Okay? It's your spouse second. I just felt somebody grieved right there in my spirit. So I'm going to just pray right now. God, loose them right now in the name of Jesus. And then it's your kids. Your kids are third. So here's the thing. And I got more. If you are not married, oh Lord, why are you making me do this? If you are not married, your kids come first. I don't care if that's your baby daddy you've been with for 15 years. Your kids come first before that man who may even be paying your bills, but maybe he shouldn't be. I don't know. It's none of my business. You can do this. You can do this. So if you're not married, your kid should be second. And I say, when you're like, where do I fit in? You're with God. Like, your relationship with God is what makes you your best self. If you want to put yourself second in order to think about that, but I'm telling you, as you build that relationship with God, it will build you. It will build you. It will give you space to honor and reverence yourself like never before. That relationship with Him is the first priority, which is essentially working on you. Yeah, this is where, okay, I'm gonna tell y'all my personal hierarchy, and then y'all can decide from here. But I'm gonna tell y'all those three is hands down, period. But next, you can decide what comes next. But for me personally, it is my business, and then it's my family. Why do I say that? Because my immediate family in my household we've already talked about them. We've already talked about my immediate family and my household, and my business is what provides my ability to serve my family. But you're going to have to decide what that looks like for you. That's my personal testimony. My business is what has allowed me to serve my family. It really has. And nobody in the family aspect, your story may be different, or maybe God may be trying to free you from that. Maybe your mama been paying your bills, but maybe God wants to free you from that, and your order of hierarchy may be off. I don't know. To each his own. Everybody is different in this. And so you have to figure out what this looks like for you. But I'm going to tell y'all those top three, that's Bible. If you need some scriptures, I'll come back to you with that, but it's Bible. All right. So I'm excited for the freedom that's going to come in that. It don't feel like freedom right now for some of y'all. Like, how do I switch that up? Because even for me, like, I'll tell you what, I wanted my husband to marry me so bad, but it was like, at one point, was he more important than my son? And if he is, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's absolutely wrong. Why do you want God to place a man in your life when you can't even get your order of hierarchy right now? You can't. Your business comes before your kids. Well, I'm doing it for them. But maybe if you got things into order, God would bless it. Maybe if you got things into order, God would bless it. And that doesn't mean that your kids have to get all of your time, but you're mean. Like, you're mean. And you might be mean because you're not doing number one and allowing God to fill your cup so you can serve as a single mom, so you can serve as a wife, so you can be a good friend. He'll fill your cup. So, number one, in this practicality is your hourly calendar. Your hourly calendar and telling your time where to go allows you to align your entire day. Like, the hourly calendar is so important to your whole life, like whole life. We do a family calendar too, but that hourly calendar is so important. Because there's only 24 hours in a day, and you're supposed to sleep 8 of them. Supposed to sleep 8 of them. And that's being a good steward of the body that God put you in. And I ain't saying that I sleep. I'm preaching to myself too. Okay. Because I don't get 8 hours of sleep every night. But the ones I do, boy, I be feeling like Hercules. Okay. I almost just did it for y'all, but I'm not going to do it. I feel like Hercules. So are you that's a part of that first one, because God will convict you when you're eating the wrong things, when you're eating too much, when you're not working out, when you are not getting sleep, when you're sitting on the couch for 5 hours. He'll convict you. He will. You just got to listen to him. But if you spend more time to him, he'll have the loudest voice in your life, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Who's somebody that you can call right now, and if they say something, you like, yep, okay, cool. Everybody has it. Everybody has it. Everybody has a person. Like, you just trust their judgment. The person whose judgment you should be trusting is Jesus. And the only way to trust his judgment, because you have to be able to hear his voice, is by spending time with him. Didn't that judgment come, like the willingness to trust their judgment, didn't it come from the relationship building? You don't just trust that person's judgment. Y'all just got started talking yesterday. If you are, oh Lord, I'm praying for you for real. Okay, listen, I'm praying. God, give them freedom. But that person is somebody you probably known for like your whole life. It may be your mama, it may be your best friend, or whatever. So the only way to do that is by spending time. So hourly calendar. So yes, give Jesus some time on your calendar. Give Jesus some time on your calendar. And you may have to take the trash out. Okay. You may have to take the trash out. And so right now, well, I'm gonna take you through this, the roles in life, because we only got a few minutes left. Your roles in life. So after you get through this, you have an hourly calendar in front of you. What are your roles in life? Are you a wife? Are you a mom? You may need to list them out. Are you a wife? Are you a mom? Like, what are your committed roles? Not just in general, because you'd be like, I'm a sister, I'm an auntie, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not asking for all that. Like, what are your major roles in life? So for example, I would say I'm a wife, I am a mom, I am a business owner, right? And then I'm a daughter. I'm gonna say I'm a daughter and granddaughter, because that's real important right now in my life. Being a granddaughter and a daughter, because I'll be getting the calls like, Rachel, I ain't heard from you. Like, maybe you abandoned me. And I'm like, okay, every day I need to call my mom. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta know, like, what sister, is that a really important part of your life right now, because your sibling may be going through something. What are your major roles in life? You may have a job. Is that, you better put the job on there, okay? Put your job on there. What are the major roles in your life? Because then you need to put them in order, and they should be on your schedule. How many of y'all put down wife and you don't have any husband time on your schedule? That ain't good. That ain't good. So look at your schedule. This is some straight up evaluation, y'all. Like, it's work. It's work. This is why I used to have lunch every day with my husband, but he canceled lunch. And so I'm trying to figure out how to get my husband back on my schedule. Can y'all drop in the comments, Breon, give Rachel lunch back? Like, anyways, I'm just playing. So I'm just playing. Please don't put that. So you got to think of your schedule and just the importance. It's so important. It's important, guys. It's important. You will feel all over the place if you don't prioritize these things. No, we still have lunch. Okay. Yes. Our marriage is important. So you have to schedule these things into your life. You do. It's not a matter of when this stuff happens, I'll start to prioritize. You have to prioritize this stuff now, because I can guarantee you walk into diamond, you walk into double, you walk into triple diamond, or go executive, right? If you go executive, I'm telling you, as this extra income comes in, your priorities will remain the same. It'll put a spotlight on what's already your priorities. It really will. It's a true heart check. It really shows you what your heart looks like. It does. Keeps you. Amen, Stephanie. Amen. Yeah. Anyways, so I'm going to tell y'all now, like, looking at, how about this? Drop a 1 in the comments if you know you need to reevaluate your schedule. I think that's probably the best thing to walk away from. Like, you need to reevaluate your schedule. So here's the thing. This is what makes this easier to take out the trash. There's a reason why I have y'all doing this process first. Y'all get that? Like, there is a reason why we are talking about our priorities and what's important first before we start talking about removing stuff from your life. Do y'all get it? Are you understanding that if you can pay attention to what's important, it's not hard to remove stuff from your life? It's like every year we go into my son's closet, and several times a year, Lord, because the way kids grow, and we start to remove the things that are no longer helpful to him. You don't wear these shoes. We need to give them away. You don't wear these clothes. We need to give them away. These drawers are tethered. We need to throw them away, right? You done wore this beater 50 million times. It's trash. And you want to instill those things into your kids' lives. Why? Because they will be old with holes in their drawers because you instilled that in their lives. And I'm not lying. Like, I'm serious. Y'all know I'm telling the truth, because some of y'all need to go through y'all drawers and throw some stuff away. You wearing bras where the wire is coming out. Like, sis, throw it away. Okay, boo? Like, seriously. It's like you can go get a bra for $5. I know it's some expensive ones, but you can, y'all know what I'm talking about. I still got some shorts from like high school. It might be time, maybe not. I don't know, when they see me in it, like, I remember taking them to a retreat one time, and they was like, really? And I was like, I mean, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So this is real. Like, when you prioritize, you can put yourself in a position where you can see exactly what needs to be removed. Y'all, the next thing is habits, and we'll talk about that later. The habits that are conducive, and I can kind of touch on it. So when you look at the roles in your life as a mom, do you cook dinner? Do you meal plan? Like, is it a priority? It's a big difference where you just cooking dinner today because your kids need to eat. Okay, that was a word for somebody. Like, your kids need to eat every day. Okay, your kids, every day they're gonna need to eat. Okay, three times a day. And sometimes you can be like, well, you just gonna eat what's in the refrigerator. No, your hierarchy is jacked. Like, it's important. And you just, piss poor preparation promotes piss poor performance. Excuse my language. It just, it does. If you don't plan, you plan to fail. And I hated that because I wasn't a planner. Drop a 1 in the comments if you weren't a planner. We changing that today. Okay. We changing it. You're a planner today. After you drop your 1, say I'm a planner. How about that? After you drop your 1 and just be honest, how about you take on a new identity today? I'm a planner. And here's the thing, just because yes, God, yes. Listen, just because you take on a new identity does not mean that it won't take a while to get rid of your old identity. Let me take that again, okay? Just because you take on a new identity does not mean it might not take a while to get rid of your old identity. For example, I know this just keeps coming up over and over again. If I say I don't drink anymore, have you ever seen somebody at the club who be like, or wherever, out to eat, and they be like, I don't drink. You know what I'm saying? I don't drink, but they have a drink. Have you ever seen that? Yes? It's like, oh, I'm a lightweight or whatever. I'm just not a drinker, but they might have a drink. That does not mean that they're a drinker now. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Like, just because somebody has a drink does not make them a drinker. You don't have to take on the identity just because you're doing things. You just have to be committed to the fact that you're not a drinker. And as you're more committed and you keep speaking that over your life, you won't drink. Just for example, like, people are like, I don't drink coffee. I'm a coffee drinker. It's only one type of coffee that I drink, though. But I was always like, man, I'm just not a coffee drinker. Rachel, you drink coffee every day. Like, what do you mean you're not a coffee drinker? Like, how does that work? Anybody ever say that? I'm not a coffee drinker. I'm not. How many of y'all drink coffee every day on here, but still be telling people you're not a coffee drinker? Like, yes. Me. Okay. Yep. Come on. Can you let it go. You're a coffee drinker. I had an aha. I was like, I was like, I'm not a coffee drinker. I was like, Rachel, for the past 2 years, you've been drinking coffee every single day. Like, bruh, you're a coffee drinker. I was like, oh, okay. I'm a coffee drinker. I am. I'm a coffee drinker. I drink coffee every day. I just don't drink your coffee. Like, I don't drink, I'm not going to McDonald's to get a coffee. I'm not going to Starbucks to get it. I'm just not doing it. Like, I'm not that kind of, I'm not even drinking the coffee that's in the hotels. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a general coffee drinker, but I do drink coffee. So hopefully that's freeing today. You can walk in a new identity. That's what the word says. Like, once you come into Christ, you're a new creation. But it says the old things are passed away, right? So we're saying it's passed away. So even though things might happen, that does not change my identity. This is a part of you're not what you've done. That doesn't mean that you don't have to take responsibility, but that does not dictate who you are. I mean, back in the day, I may identify with certain stuff that y'all would probably look at me like I would tell you, like, I'm a clubber. I wouldn't, I mean, I know there's different levels to clubbers because there's some people who was in the club more than I was. But I mean, I was a clubber. I never became a happy hour. Thank you, Jesus. But I was gonna be in the club. Like, we in the club. I got my people with me. Like, that was me. Like, it was me. I was a clubber. And I made my husband a clubber because we just wanted to be together. So it was like, meet me at the club. It's going down. Like, it was, just saying. But if you met me now, I'd be like, no, I'm not a clubber. Like, I don't go to the club. I remember the first time I went to the club and I was uncomfortable. And they was looking like, who is this girl? Like, this is not her. Yes, it is. I'm not a clubber anymore. I've decided to take on a new identity. And so, yeah, she might look weird to you, but this is who I am. And I'm sticking to who I am because I have taken on a new identity. I'm praying that frees somebody today. All right, we're gonna get off here. Hopefully this was helpful. He was like, well, Rachel, I thought we was taking out the trash. I bet you once you get your life together, you're gonna take the trash out. I bet you once you go through and look at your schedule, you'll see that because you did last week, you might have taken the inventory of your life and your day. Some of y'all need to remove the TV, like unplug it. Some of y'all TV's on right now. And you partially distracted, don't even realize it. You're not okay with sitting in silence. That's a problem. How many of y'all gotta go to bed with the TV on? That's a problem. And so I'm praying for freedom for y'all. All right, who enjoyed it? Who got some applicable things to take with them? Who has some stuff that they can apply? Drop a 1 in the comments if you have some stuff that you can apply for this next week. How many? Drop a 2 in the comments if I get on your nerves. It's okay. I'm all right with that, okay? If I get on your nerves, it's okay. I'm in your business. I'm not. It's Jesus, okay? Because I didn't even make this up. He made it up, okay? I get it. We're going to pray, and we're going to get off here, and y'all have a great week. You guys are killing it in volume. Make sure you make your own personal, y'all, those y'all on here who have y'all stimmies and y'all taxes, make sure you invest in your business. I'm serious. Invest in your business. There's been so many products that y'all want to try, and right now is the time to do it. People think about my whole life, and I remember having a conversation with Steph and Joel, and they was like 1,000 BV auto shipment, and I was like, what? I thought they was crazy. And then Brittany was over my house at that day, but we sat down and I really started to think about all of the products that I use every single day. And I was like, that is 1,000 BB. Like, the question is, am I consistently using my products? Because if I was consistently using my products every single day, I would need them, right? So it was so good. So I'm gonna tell y'all, invest in y'all business, buy the products that you've always been wanting to try, and continue to go live and be uncomfortable, because the uncomfortable place is where your growth is going to happen. Continue to come into the room. That's where the magic happens. Continue to ask for your mentorship for help. There's no such thing as bothering them. And congratulations to everybody who's gotten their shopping sprees. Y'all legit. Y'all get to cash out even more. Just found out you cannot use your shopping spree to get clothes. So I'm sorry to hear that. So maybe use your stimmy for some clothes. There's a sale going on right now. But we'll be back next week. We do have an opportunity Zoom today on the same code at noon. So come back here in an hour, bring some guests that you would love to tell about the business. And Brittany and Erica are going to rock it out for you guys. So I'm going to pray and we're going to get off here. Happy Saturday. Dear Heavenly Father, God, we just love you. God, thank you for this series, okay? Even though sometimes we'd be like, we thank you. We thank you for really caring about us having our life together and being whole so we can feel free, so we can make decisions in you and not decisions based on other people, so we can become our best selves, God. A lot of times we have no idea what that even means because we're looking at somebody else be their best self. And so we believe that our life has to look like theirs in order for us to feel whole, but that's not true. So God, thank you for helping us take the time to truly look inside of ourselves, to look inside of our homes, to look inside of our hearts, to look inside of our minds and get things together. God, I even pray now for the single people, the single moms, the single men that are on here, God, who are in this place of trying to decide what it looks like to serve you and be in a relationship. God, I'm just asking for freedom right now in the name of Jesus. God, I'm asking for strength. Give them strength as they take care of their children. God, give them strength as they ask for help and even placing the right people in their lives to help them with their children as they get their lives together. Because we know as each day, as they continue to keep you at the forefront and to keep moving forward, that you'll work it out for their good. And so God, we just praise you in advance today. I even pray for marriages today, God, those who have decided today that they need to put their husband back in his rightful place. God, I just even pray that as they start to shift things up in their household, that the love rekindles, that the respect rekindles, God, that the lunchtime rekindles. Okay. God, we just thank you in advance for what you're doing and how you care so much about us. You care so much about us. We did not come to this business for all of this, but you always had it in mind. And so God, we just praise you and we adore you and we thank you. We thank you in advance for how things are changing in our lives. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Bye, y'all.